face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? We're starting on time tonight. Pablo isn't able to be with us, so I figured, you know what? Let's roll with it on time and make it look like he's the slouch that makes it late. So that's what we're doing tonight. How's it going, you guys? See, Tiny RC guys here, Haywire RC, Racing Case 87 Blue, Dooley, Pink Stag, Brandon, Axel 32, Tyler's in the house. Crawler Baller, what's going on? So, a couple things to talk about since I get to kind of take over the airwaves tonight. I've got things to talk about. Plus, I got a package in the mail from Pablo. Since he's not here, we'll open it and he'll be with us in one way or another. So, that's pretty cool. Hey, from Maine, make stuff better. How's it going? So, I want to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about the FMS vehicles. I've got one of them right here. This thing is a stud. I'll tell you what, it looks so good. Yeah. So good. And I want to talk about it a little bit. I dig what FMS is doing right now these days. They've had some really cool releases. They've kind of done some interesting stuff. I think that the K5 Blazer as well, the big one, is pretty wicked. A lot of stuff that you get for it for that $399 price tag. I saw Harley was on today. He had another scale news, so that was good to see. But, you know, he definitely had some good questions for it and, you know, pointing out like what the cost is really the best thing about it. He's like, you know, it's basically Traxxas already has this vehicle. It's more expensive, has part support like crazy. It's out here. You can get a Blazer, you can get Broncos, you can get whatever that do basically this without the dig, which is very true. So, but the price is, I mean, pretty decent. And the cat is going crazy over here. I don't know what he's doing. He's not usually down here. The body mounts, I found a better way to get it off. We'll show you that as well. But yeah, don't tip it upside down like I did and try and get off. It's still not awesome. One of the things that I found and I thought about with it is those magnets on the back really are kind of problematic with the mounting system because you're trying to pry it off, but you're fighting the magnets. If you start on the back, yeah, anyway, it just relocks and it's not as hard as I made it look in the video. That's really was me just trying to get it off. I couldn't figure, I mean, I hadn't figured out the best way to take it off yet. And I think leaving the tires down is the best way, not flipping it over. I was just trying to access them, see everything, whatever. Now that I've had it for a little bit, leaving it wheels down, just reaching under, finding them. And once you've kind of got it figured out, you can get it apart. But it's still not as easy as some other ones that are quick release and really are fast release. So we'll say that. The truck itself, though, drove well. I was shocked. I even comped it. I have video of it comping, going through the whole course at reaction, which it did. It didn't like win. In fact, I mean, I wasn't even. It wasn't worth winching. So I knew it wasn't going to win, but I was just seeing if it was capable enough, and it was. But to compete with, say, the VRD, different ballpark, different beast, but it could make the lines, man. It's got some power. It's heavier. It's a whole lot of things but it is capable. It's no joke. It's a capable truck. So I'll be doing that video. I just need to do an intro for it and then kind of narrate it because I wasn't narrating it. We were comping and doing whatever, talking about it and laughing and whatever. But everyone was pretty impressed by it, considering it just box stock out of the box against these comp trucks. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, what's going up? So This right here is a beautiful truck. I will say mine on this side, I think the frame got bent because it definitely is split here. So this is like a Michigan truck that's got some frame issues. You can actually see it dipping down here. And I think maybe too, when I look at the box now, the radio comes in the box, sitting in the bed. And I wonder if it didn't do very well in shipping the way that mine got shipped. So maybe they'll be better in coming in a container, not shipped through the mail in a box like mine was. I don't know. But it's something I noticed. I can see it. I could probably take this off and bend it back. So it's got really long. You can see the chassis goes way back to here. What I wanted to say about this truck, typical Chevy. What I wanted to say about this is FCX 18 platform. What did I say about the last FCX 18? I said that it was the same size as all the FCX 24s, and it was. This one is not. So here's FCX 18 to FCX 18. Huge size difference in these two vehicles for the same platform. It's very interesting how they are sizing these and lumping them together as sizes. Why this wasn't like an FCX 24 Pro, I don't know. I don't really get it. It's forever going to be the thing that just drives me absolutely bonkers with all of these cars and the sizing of them is just ridiculous. So, and the conventions for how they're lumping them together now. It's crazy. I would never run these trucks together. They're not the same at all. This is bigger than the TRX4s. It's just a much bigger for the FCX 18 name that is stamped on the chassis down here, up here. FCX 18. So yeah, that's something I didn't actually point out in the video I made about it. Wish I would have now, but it's crazy bigger. Like, so in my course in the back there, when I'm running the F6 24s, this runs right up there with all of them. The TRX 4Ms, everything just sits in there like it's part of the crew. They call it the FCX 18. Honestly, I think the other FCX 24s should be called FCX 18s as well. This should be a pro version of the FCX 18. That's just me, or whatever. This is even bigger. This is like 16th. Or something. I don't know what it is exactly. But if you're looking for things that are going to run, and like if you just saw a video on this, I just want to make sure I point out it doesn't run with the other 18 scales very well. Does not play well with the others. I can't. There'd be no way I could run that on my indoor course. It's not big enough. These are kind of pushing it as well. We can do it, but it's not as enjoyable, I don't think, as the 24 scales on my little indoor course, because I can get more lines and just around better. It doesn't feel like the course is as small as it is when I run the 24 scale axials as they do when I run these or the others. So that's the first thing I'll talk about. We will talk about the K5. I'll bring it up here in a minute and talk about it. But yeah, see what the comments are saying. Holes in the bed are not cool, right? But you could easily cover that. I mean, you could put something in, put a tonneau cover on it. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could cover that up if you really wanted to. But if you really wanted to run it as an open bed, there's no going back from those holes. Blue Dooley says almost like they are properly scaled to each other. Yeah, I don't really think so. Door wise, sizes, I mean, it's considerably smaller, but I don't know. Those box trucks are pretty big. I'll give it that. But it doesn't feel quite right, especially being a single cab. Make stuff better. So is the TRX too small? No, I think the TRX 4M is 18 scale. I would consider that to be pretty spot on in that market. Which I would also say about the FCX 24s being 18th scale. And then this, because this is actually smaller than I would say the Blazers and stuff. Or no, yeah. I would say this is smaller than the FCX 24 Blazers if you really look at the scale of it being a two-door and everything about it. This feels smaller than that. So it's interesting. So either change this one to 24 and the other 18, but still I don't know that this stacks up completely with the Defenders and everything else that this would sit up next to. Here, let me get a Defender. Give me a second. Truck. This is where you really would see it. To a four-door Defender. Both considered to be 18th scale. So for people saying this was scaled appropriately to the other one. This to this. I would say that the Traxxas is still smaller. Like a Defender, I think would be bigger than this Land Cruiser a little bit. They'd be pretty close. They're pretty close in size. I would say that the Defender would be a bigger vehicle, and it's not in this case. So, they're going to be a little off. That's just going to happen. This is just way bigger than the other ones that are considered 18th scale. So, it is what it is. They're using the platform as a base, and so that's what they're basing it off of. All the other components are from their FCX 18 line. They just had a body already made that they used before, and they stuck it on this other platform. So yeah, it's a really cool truck, but it just, what do you run it with? '18 scale wise, though, it's close to the LMT size ish. Guess you could put it on there, maybe the Mini. I don't know. What's going on, GMRCs? Roadside. Troy, what's up? So Rick said the 18 scale Chevy without the holes in the bed. Yeah, this being for it to have more articulation and be a better performing truck. So this one, if you want that scale and all you're going for is scale, then that would be better. This one, they're going for performance with them. They got rid of the interiors. They blacked out the windows mostly, so you can't see there's no interior in there. Lightened it up that way. And these things do pretty well. Metal links and all kinds of cool goodies. Drives really good. You take off the springs on this because you can. I mentioned that in the video. It will not hit even with your tires turning. So I would just say remove the shock springs, let it sit. The oil-filled shocks feel great, and it will put brass wheels on it. It'd be an awesome performer. like this one. We just drove this one again tonight. So good. If you run this one compared to the other ones that are stock, putting just brass wheels on it with the one tire to rule them all, the RC four-wheel drive scramblers, this thing is a showstopper, man. Just like this. Leave it with everything else as is. Get rid of those springs. Shave down the little front here a little bit of your diff cover so you get that great steering. So good. So don't have to do anything with it. It just performs in an amazing way, very scale. You know, you could make comp trucks better than this, but for a scaled out with the rear tires and bumpers and hard body and everything still on it, this thing is awesome. I mean, it's just fun to drive. Probably one of my favorite minis that I have. I mean, my axial, my Jeep Creep one that I have is my favorite. Still not sold on the Mias axles. Don't know that they're for me. The extra steering is awesome, but the extra steering comes with a whole bunch of other problems that it creates with the back end getting flung around because it just turns more and it catches things. And yeah, not sure that I'm not there yet in sold on it yet realm, because now I'm actually leaning toward my so that was always my favorite truck, but now I'm actually leaning more toward my Mazda Designs one with the brass axles and just everything on it. It just handles like I expected to. I like the heavy trucks, and that one's just not heavy with the Mias axles and the hard park wheels to have that offset for that extra. Not a big light truck fan. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I might go back. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't done well with it. It doesn't drive like I want it to. Don't know that the steering is a big enough boon at this point to do it. Like, I'm not in most of our comp setups like, oh, I wish I had that much more steering. What I'm finding is when I'm getting on stuff and I'm turning, it's turning so much that it's actually causing more problems than it is solving problems because of the amount of steering and how it throws the truck around when you're trying to get unstuck from other stuff. But that's the different story. This thing's amazing. Comments. The Chevy's like 112. Yeah, not quite, but it's big. Here he goes with that scrambler nonsense. Timeout. Here, click timeout. All right. I got the white version of it with the 3 color stripes. Ivan Stewart livery. Which one is that, Brian? Oh man. What did they have the Ivan Stewart version of? Yeah, 14 foot to 19 foot. I don't think is still, if we're doing back end to back end. I don't know. You've almost got 5 feet in this. You got a whole hood. I'm still not bumper to bumper. But it's, yeah. Maybe it's scale. It doesn't feel like I wouldn't drive it with any of these things. Oh, it's a fair RC model of the LC80. That's amazing. What's going on, Jeffrey? I mean, maybe they are scale. It just doesn't feel like it when you're looking at them side by side. But trucks were bigger back in the day. Mofo's having a sale for 12 hours. You guys should get on that. All right. Addie's RC, what's going on? All right, I got to see this. We're going to pull it up on here because I'm being told to. I'll look it up first. Fair RC. Once I get it on here, here's K5 Blazers. Here's cars. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, all right. We'll show that. That's really awesome. Window. Share that one. There it is. Yeah, that's really cool. Super, super well done. Man, they nailed it with that. See, I wouldn't want to change out the wheels, though, because they look cool. But I'd want to add something to add weight down there. I'd try to get the tires off them or something and put BBs in them. Gotta love you some Ivan Stewart off-road. Just, man, that fade right there, so good. The new Typhon Grom? I didn't see that. What's that all about? Typhon Grom? Was it announced or it's being teased or somebody saw? Oh, there it is. There's a picture of a box. Huh. So here's my thing about that. I don't love the mini buggies. You've already got the low-C ones that are really good. So I guess I don't see the appeal of a Typhon Grom. I don't know. I have a hard time getting excited about some of the new RC releases, honestly, right now. Especially after the Pro Moto came out, which was like so game changing. And then a lot of the other stuff's just kind of rehashing other stuff. So unless it's something that I really love, like the look of, as a reason to want it, like that Ivan Stewart isn't really a new RC. I have it right here, but why do I want it? Because it's the Ivan Stewart look, and that's amazing. But it's not anything new under the sun. This is kind of rehashing a couple things. So if you're like a big time K10 person, you'd like this. It actually handles pretty well. Put brass tires on, get rid of the shock springs, put some scramblers on it. It'll really shine. But like nothing like I gotta have it so far for me really this year. New Game Over Primal, pretty cool. I'd still like if I were to get anything, I'd wait for the Son of a Digger. Like that's gonna be really rad. So but it's already been out. The things that I like are the new improvements. They've got a new diff for them. They've got a new steering bar, finally, a single bar instead of the way it mounted weird, where I'd shear off the bolts that held in the steering. That's cool from Primal to see. But yeah. Low C buggies are 2-wheel drive. That is true, Henry. That is very true. So that's pretty cool. Are the axles on the K10 the same as the LC80? Yes, it is a FCX18. So you're basically running the same everything for the most part. Longer links, longer drive shafts, longer chassis. But still taking the idea of having it not a removable body easily, but you get to your electronics here. You still, I mean, there's a few screws and things to get in here and drop stuff out. If you wanted, you could drop the transmission out to work on it. Not as easy to just get in there and work on as the FCX 24s, which honestly, right, these are the same axles as all that. So if I'm correct, the axles are the same on them both as far as width and all that. So pretty sure they're just the straight up same axles. But anyway, axle mounted servos, they're performers. They do good. So long the rear end is in another state, right? You know what's even cooler? These SCX24 extreme cool diff covers. Yeah, those things are amazing. It's super cheap. I probably make like 50 cents on them by the time I pay all the fees for eBay on them. They're just super cheap. Metal Gears, yep. They're solid. They're solid trucks. We can pull up the Fair RC back. We can go back to that and show some of that stuff. I didn't have that available when I was doing the video on it because the website wasn't up yet. So it is cool now that the website is up to be able to check that stuff out. I should say, because yeah, this wasn't all there when we got them. So here's the new K10, $180. Officially authorized, so they're licensed. Really cool colors: red, white, orange, white, black, and red. The black and red looks sick. FCX 18 transmission, so you can see it when you take off the body. Not much to take it off. It's got the 4-link suspension, but in the front it's actually a wishbone uppers. So it's funny that they're mentioning it from the front here, but good battery life, decent sized batteries, big motors in them, super good low speed control. So it doesn't actually say Metal Gears, does it? Foiling suspension, metal ball bearings, metal beam structure, 2-speed transmission. It doesn't just straight say there. Let's see, spare parts. Looks like metal transmission gears. It says spare parts. It doesn't say. So it looks like, yeah, here's the gear set. So it looks like there's a plastic gear set available. So I'm going to guess that these transmission gears are plastic. But the portals are going to be metal. That's a good question. I didn't take this one all the way apart. Anybody else know on the FCX 18? Plastic transmission gears don't bother me, but I would hope that the diff are. Check the comments here. Little Guy Racing RTR they're going to release? I haven't seen that. That's pretty cool. The links on these do appear. I don't know. These ones are a little different. They do look like aluminum ones. They're coated black on this one. You know, I could probably just get a screwdriver out and take this cover off. Where's my drill at? Diffs are plastic gears. Okay. Diffs and the transmission are plastic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open this package here because I'm really curious. Really curious what's inside. Pablo sending in Team Associated box here for me. He said he packed it tight and he hoped that it all made it unbroken. And for this package, he shipped USPS, which is probably quite double the price he would have paid if he would have done UPS. Oh, there went the blade. You don't want to know. Make sure we have some CA glue around here in case we cut ourselves. But I really need to not cut myself. At least not my fingertips. I got to play guitar. Okay. Oh, first things first. If Jeffrey Makovich is here, he'll like this. That looks dope. They called it the CCXRC Ice Monster. That's pretty cool. Gonna have to get that mounted up on something. RC Amigos stickers. Will weld for tacos. Lots of stickers. Man, he wants me to really brand him. Element stickers. Cool. Oh boy. Baja Pro X tires. 2.2s. I think I accidentally ordered the wrong tires for him the first time. Actually, you know what? This truck body would almost look good on. Almost. A little too small. I'm going to lose all these stickers. Oh, there it is. Wicked. You guys know what's in here? Ta-da! Look at that. T-plug connectors. What is that about, bro? That's awesome. So you need to have like a 5mm driver with you to take the body off, it looks like. Just kind of bring it with you. No, that looks really good. You shouldn't really have to take it off to get the battery in and stuff. Looks like you'd be able to do it all from external once I get it all mounted back up with a receiver and that. This is going to need one of his stickers on it somewhere. Behind the axle steering. Looks like it gets after it a bit. Oh, Spec RC wheels. Yeah, that's dope looking. Oh man. Now I gotta get out crawling again. I just did the 10 scale comp. Scale metal supplies. Bracketing here on axle servo mount. Yeah, that's nice stuff. Looks good, dude. Nice short wheelbase. I might have to comp this week. I'll probably break the body, though. Knowing my luck. I dig it, dude. Gonna be wicked. So I actually did pretty good this week with my VRD carbon. It's some Italian carbon fiber chassis. It's like a low, really low slung one too. I'll have to find out the chassis that it is. Hey, Pat Smahi, what's up, man? My wife freaks over big bugs. Somebody's asking about, it's bugging me. I get you. But yeah, pretty cool care package. Stickers, Michigan Ice or CCXRC Ice Monster. He dubbed it on the front here. So get that mounted up on there somehow. And then I don't know what we'll put it on if it's going to fit. If it'll fit on one of my FMS trucks, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I'll have to see if I have a SCX24 kicking around. I know I've got another one of the carbon fiber SCX24 chassis I could build. I think I actually have another one from ECB 3D printing too. I'm struggling to find out which way this goes in. I'll figure it out eventually. I'll probably just inset it on the inside like that. Looks good. Where is Pablo? Pablo had to work. Straight caps for life. Michael Lucre, what's up, man? What's on my shirt? Oh, part of the packaging. Yeah, steering angle on it's not bad. The steering angle on this VRD Carbon is insane. That thing is a straight up performer, man. What's up again? Sorry, I had a phone call I had to take. Hope I didn't miss anything good. Not really. Didn't miss much. I did get this. Maybe in the time that you were away on your phone call. So this did happen. New. It's got a Reefs 444 in here. Old school stamp on it. It's got a Sidewinder 4 going to a Holmes Hobby motor in here. It's their Crawlmaster 540 2700 kV stubby. All up under there. I don't actually have one of their brushless motors. So I'm excited to try that. Nice. What am I thinking about? It's a mini, so it's up my alley. That's not really something I want a mini in, honestly, because even with the big tired granite Grom, like it's not great in grass or, I mean, I have the granite one, and that's what I would choose anyway. I like big truck tires and that kind of thing. Buggies aren't my, my bread and butter. So trucks and that kind of thing are more up my alley. Cool that it's 4-wheel drive. I believe, and that's something that the low-C ones aren't. So that's cool. The nice thing about the low-C ones, though, is, I mean, you're really running them on carpet or other things and don't need 4-wheel drive, and it just makes them that much easier to work on. Fewer moving parts to deal with. Very simple transmissions. So yeah. I'd rather have the LMT Mini any day of the week than any of the other ones. So, because where I'm going to run it to would be indoors in small areas, and I think I can have more fun with a monster truck in that kind of a scenario, doing scale stuff with it versus the Grom or other things where I'm really going to want to air them out and go big with them. And I don't feel that way about the monster trucks. So usage wise, I think it's a cool entry point for people to get them interested. Just different usage than I would see. So the minis that I like are these, the little mini crawlers that, for me, mini wise, this stuff that I would plan to use indoors would be for me. I wouldn't use a Grom indoors. So what I would use it for, entryway, getting into the hobby. These I don't see as, they can be entryway, but I also see them as like people that are fully into it, modding the crap out of them and doing cool stuff with them and doing indoor courses and challenges and things that you can't do in bigger spaces. Like, I would say that those minis you'd still want to be in a bigger space for. Most shops aren't going to open up like a small mini racing series for the Typhon Grom or the Granite Grom. So I don't see like as big of a market around it as I would with the mini crawlers or the mini Z's or things that you could, or even the what do I have in the back there, the 1RC Racing oval, like sprint cars and that. I see markets for those for hobby shops that can take a very small footprint and make something that brings people in. For the I mean, for the little ones, I see them more as like a first RC for a younger kid. Not a bad thing. Like, but just a different type of touch point as far as usage for people. So that'd be my, I guess, take on it. So I think it's good to have in the market. I just think it's a different usage. That's how I'd say it. Than I would want. Yeah, we've got a pretty good selection of fishing rods here, Crawler Baller. My favorite right now is this one right here. And this was custom made for me. It's carbon fiber rod, super flexible. And yeah, put on a, man, the cat is going crazy in that box. This blackout reel on it, but it's super light, sensitive. Sorry, cat. And my buddy Rob from USTE made that for me. So some of you guys know who that is. Bronco Rob. So yeah. How's it going, Adam? So yeah, that would be that package. The last thing is that K5. I have it right over there. I did find a better way to get the body off. It's still not like my favorite thing to take off. It's not terrible now. I just do it upright and I just do one piece at a time. So pull one corner, get it out, do the other corner, go to the front. So it's like 4. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the like the FCX 24s, the monster trucks and all that, where they got those little clips that go in. You got to reach under there and try and pop them, and you're pulling up on it and trying to, like, the idea is like to make it simple and no posts, but it's not like super simple. But it makes it look good, and you take it off in not all the time, so it's not a huge deal. Paul Fletcher, definitely a starter car. Yep. Hey, what's up, Radioactive Scale? Brian, the Axial CJ7. No, I did not get one of those, but every time I look at one, I want one. So for me, what that does is that takes me back to kind of when I got into the crawlers, when those original Jeeps were out, the Casey Curry one, and there was like a silver one, and they didn't have people in them. They just had little molded half seats, and we'd take like figures and cut them in half and stick them on there. Either screw them in or Velcro them in, which is what we did. And like we outfitted them, and people had wraiths and they put figures in them. That ability to do that with it is huge, that they kind of brought that back. So trail truck wise, that's super cool looking. Like I could own one of those for trail running versus like a base camp or a TRX4, or any of the other ones that are, it just reminds me of when I'd go out with my buddies and we'd go tiny truck in, and we had a whole bunch of like scale stuff in them, and we just had fun. But yeah, those are back in like 2016. Yeah, 2015. That's, I think, when I got it was 2015, because I started in RC in 2013. And then I got the Losi, I think, in 2014, the Losi 10. And I think 2015, I got the Yeti 10 scale Yeti, thinking it could do both crawling and do some speed stuff. I didn't know enough, and I got it, and all I did was break it because it couldn't crawl at all. So you end up just jumping it, but it couldn't do like the flips and stuff of the monster trucks I would have wanted it to be. It had that AR-60 axle that would just snap, like the same as the SMT-10s and all that had. So just breaking it all the time because I did not know about beef tubes or any of that. Got rid of it, traded it for a G-made sawback, which was much more crawler, but still not awesome. Didn't flex well. Very stiff. And then finally just broke down and bought the Casey Curry white Jeep, and I think it was 2015. '13, 14. Yeah, they were somewhere in there, and then the white one came out after. It's like a new model with the Casey Curry stuff. Because there's a silver one that was out before that. And maybe the Curry was out longer than that, but that was just the first I'd seen it. I don't know. But yeah, I got that, and then I was hooked. Once I actually got a crawler and understood what it was, that was a game changer. And man, that thing was amazing. Couldn't steer, like steering wasn't great. You had to get the who was it? Not SRC, STRC. I think made a steering setup for it that would help. And I kept trying to get one after the fact to make it better, but I couldn't find one. I was too late. They all been sold out and none were in the market. So yeah, that's kind of where I got in. And then I really wanted the RC 4-wheel drive Defender because, I traveled the world like crazy and Defenders were pretty much my favorite car. The UN always had them. They were amazing looking. They'd go anywhere. They were like tanks. A white one. I just wanted a white one. And I never got one. I still to this day haven't gotten one. But the Traxxas TRX4 came out and it was a Defender. Part of it was I was afraid to get one because my buddy kept having axle issues with him and he couldn't get parts for him at the time. It was really hard to get the parts for the axles. So he'd be like out of commission for a bit whenever he'd have it. So yeah, the original SCX10 axles they sucked for steering, that's for sure. But I got the TRX4 and it was pretty cool. Like, but the windows were, kind of stickered so that you couldn't see through them with tinting and all that on the originals and maybe even fully stickered or painted. I can't remember. I had the original silver one, got it the day it came out and was pretty blown away by it because at the time, everything that they'd done was kind of like most ready to runs weren't doing with all the locking diffs and 2-speed and all that. Nobody was really doing that. So it was pretty cool. But ended up giving that away. Somebody had a one of their trucks ghost ride into the ocean when they were on a vacation. And I was in this small group of guys on Facebook. And we go camping and do all this fun stuff around RC. And he had it happen to him with his crawler. And so he was driving back past us from the Outer Banks. And I just said, dude, stop by my house. I'll give you this. So I gave him that. Because I had some other crawlers at that point. It was sitting on the shelf. I loved it. Loved the look of it. But yeah, fully stickered windows. Yep. Yeah. And so that's the last of the TRX4s I had. I never got another one. I was tempted by the 6-wheel drive one. The little Yeti Juniors, I have those and I love them. We have 3 of them. The Can-Am ones, those are wicked. Axial 32 says, my second ever rig was a Kyosho Mad Force Nitro 2-speed. Nice. Might trade a TLR 8 4.0 for a Tenacity DB and a Yeti Junior. Can't get the 4.0, huh? I mean, TLR 8. I mean, it seems pretty even, but Actual 32, you've got some of the Yeti Juniors? Dude, we should get them together and race them. We left ours all stock, so they all handled the same, so we could just race them in the front yard. And that was like, man, my boys and I love doing that. There's videos of us doing it on YouTube in Virginia. And then we got the sand paddles for them to run them in the sand. And that killed motors. I've got the motors. Like I've got 6 or so. The motors were like $3 or $4 at one point. I just bought a bunch of them just in case. Because after the sand, one of them died. I'm like, dude, they're so cheap. I'm just going to order a bunch to have ready. So if they die, we just put new ones in. But yeah, we back when Monster Jam used to do the racing with the side by sides, they called them what'd they call them? They had a name for speedsters. I think they just called them Monster Jam speedsters. No. Yeah. Speedsters was the name given to the Polaris Razor off-road UTVs at some Monster Jam events. So yeah, they called them speedsters. Let me see here. So when we were doing all the Monster Jam racing and stuff with the monster trucks, so one of my sons has a Blue Thunder. The other has the Fire Max D. But I think we had Blue Thunder Ice. Oh, maybe he did Soldier Fortune Ice. That might have been what he did. And I have the Gravedigger one. Like this right here. So yeah, we did that and we'd race them around the yard. They're pretty cool. So yeah, the FMS FJ, they sold out pretty quick. I was shocked. They sent a message like Harley said saying, hey, if you haven't done your video yet, hold off until we get more in and then, do it then. Because people can't get them anyway. So when they're back in stock, it'll be a good time to post it. You get some views that way too. But I can see where some people say it's like a knockoff of the TRX4. I think it's designed like it. I wouldn't call it like a clone copy of it, but they definitely, like somebody said, it was definitely in the room when they were building theirs because of just the way that the shift servos, all that battery location, like it's styled pretty much like it. But honestly, I say that about all of the other ones that aren't the ones with all the servos. Like they all use the same chassis rail style. They all, I mean, skid plates don't vary very much. Most of them just look like, oh, let's make our own version of this. We'll do a little bit different transmission. But it's in the same exact spot using the same kind of idea for shock hoops. I mean, down the line with little variations. So would you call them all knockoffs of whatever the original one was? I don't know. But yeah. Those are adorable color bowler. Dude, they're so fun. I wonder if I can find them. RC Monster Jam Speedsters. Let's see if it pulls up anything. Was I smart in my naming conventions? Doesn't look like it. It did not pull up anything. I was just trying to see if it'll pull up a quick video that I did of them. None of my videos are pulling up. Here's an unedited look at my son and I driving them. I guess this is when we would race them around the yard in Virginia. This is before we got them all painted. So we had these Rams from the Clodbuster racing, and we just do an oval with jumps around the island we had in the front yard. So that was pretty much it. But then in the backyard, we would do it too. So I don't. When we had it all painted up. Actually, let's see if this will pull anything up. Oh, here they are. Boom. And it was even named it. It even had a good name for it. How did that pull up in the search? Yeah, RC Monster Jam Speedsters. Here's at the dunes at one time with the paddle tires. So this is when we even had the backyard all painted up and done up. I needed to take one of the heads out and just, yeah. Man, that was a fun backyard. Yeah, Soldier Fortune and then Max D Fire. So eventually we raced them after we bashed them in the back. So I guess it was, all three of us racing. That was a much cooler playground of a yard. I mean, the river's a pretty fun playground too. I'm not going to lie, but I smoked the boys on that one. Yeah, we had all different kinds of layouts with this type of a pod setup for the Monster Jam stuff. It gave us so many options from where to start and what to go around and how to race them. Oh, I got taken out on that one. And that one. Anyway, we had so much fun racing those things. Just doing that. Didn't have to be fast because they were all the same speed. And it was really just about beating the other person with their slow truck. Lurking for the metal shop still? Dang, man. You're putting in the hours today. You a scale LMT 1/10 course? I used to. At one point, I had a 5th scale course. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, here. Yeah. So we had the track build and testing it. And so this was as we were building it. Oh, I'm a tease. Yeah, I rented a skid steer and we built a pretty big setup in the backyard. And that was like the doubles that they used to have. Let's just see it drive. Okay, that was the Creighton fifth scale. But what it was really built for was this thing. And this pod in the middle could be hit from a bunch of different directions. In fact, all the jumps were kind of made so that there were multiple hits on them. And then that back area is designed to have a backflip ramp put between those, or a pod box backflip container between them. So, and that's where we did the that Bari build did the backflip. So yeah, scale wise, it was pretty close. Everything's probably a little bigger than what it'd be in real life for him, but it needed it. But yeah, this thing's, I got to get this fixed here in the next week or two to get it moved off the table in the garage, free up some space. I think I broke it on that hit. I think I bent a shock. That thing is an absolute beast. And it was the perfect speed for having a scale course. I know a lot of people are making them faster and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them. But when you have that scale size course, it just felt right. It's pretty cool. It only takes a 3mm. Those are pretty big. And I was just kidding, but they are pretty big screw holes. Which is good. It won't strip it out. It looks really awesome, dude. For people that missed it earlier, I finally opened it. And I'm super jazzed about it. If you had to guess how many complete RCs do I have, make stuff better. That are like, does complete even count? Like I have a broken A-arm on them, or like does it mean like actually running right now? So if we're saying actually running right now, could put batteries in it and drive it right now, probably 75. Broken is still complete, so over 100. Yep. We have a lot. That's a guesstimate. I always forget about some somehow. So, but I did sell some. I'm proud of you. I'm not. I'm trying to get rid of them. It's just like clutter. I mean, the minis really do inflate that number because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Just 23 of them sitting here. I know that there's at least 15 to 20 in the back crawler room. And there's a bin of them over there that we take to the comps. So the minis take up a lot There's the mini LMTs down on the floor. There's the Grom, the base camp. There's in the basement here. There's probably 50. Some are just sitting at my feet. So, some are brand new, like this one that has a really cool Velcro opening system. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but there's just Velcro on the top. So when you get them, the first thing you should do is just pry the Velcro open like that, and it just comes apart like that. It's so good. But don't actually do that. There's actually a little sliding piece here. Mine's taped closed by the Velcro now because I broke it because I didn't know how it opened. So mine now has Velcro the way it should have been from the beginning. Yeah, I mean, it honestly makes stuff better. It's more overwhelming, I think, than anything to have this many. And I think it actually keeps you from going out and using them more than it does using them, because you're trying to hunt down stuff for them. Like when I only had 5, they were all in a row. The radios were in front of them. They all definitely had matching batteries. They all the plugs on them were the same. I knew and was making sure all those style batteries that worked for them were in working order. Versus now I'll go out to try to grab one and I'm like, where are my matched pair of 3S batteries? Oh, one of them's not charging anymore. I was an idiot and left it plugged into something. It just, it's just like, and so you go to do it and then you can't because, yeah. So it's actually, I think, more work than it's worth to have that many. And so that's why I'm selling some. I sold a Freestyle RC. What is the Rapid X? Really nice race monster truck this past week. So that just went out in the mail. And there's some other stuff that I have to do. But yeah. Tanks and trucks. RC tanks and trucks. Dude, I saw I don't know if it was a couple of days ago or weeks ago now. It's all blurring together, but you were wearing the hat. You posted, you tagged me in your reel on Instagram or whatever. Dude, hope you're doing awesome. I miss chatting like we used to do all the time on Facebook and everything. I know you got busy, man. Building cool, real working motors and stuff that were going into trucks and sends and crazy stuff he's been up to. Awesome to see what you're up to, though, Steve. So good. Still wear the hat. I do too, man. Not as much. I got the black one now. That's kind of like this in a way. But I need to find somebody that can make more of the camo ones. Do some raffles. Yeah, raffles take time. Time's not something I have a whole lot of right now. Not at all. I have a video about the VRD to do, and I haven't done it yet because I have to find time to go up and record the intro and talk about it and show it. But I have run footage of it at Jeff's place. So, yeah. But somebody asked earlier if I was going to the expo, the outdoor one. I really wish I could. I'm at conferences all weekend. So Friday night, Saturday all day. Need more RC time, right? Yeah, and some of it's just that it's different. We've just spent so much time doing the minis, but even that, there's so many that when we had our small group over, the home group, like I realized I have to get all the FMSs out and find the batteries and the that work with those, get them charged, find the remotes that go to each one of them. So it's just that kind of stuff that I'm not one, I don't have enough space to properly do it all very organized as I would want it to be. Two, I'm not that organized of a person in general. You should see the bin. Jeff Brown could tell you about the bin that I bring into Reaction. All the cars are just in a little bin, a little tote bin, and they're like piling out of it. They're just in there. They're just, and people are like, oh, they're getting beat up. I'm like, dude, they're going to roll over and fall on rocks in about 20 minutes. So I'm not too worried about them laying against each other in a box. But still, everybody else, Harley's got his box that he's designing that keeps it all organized and everything in its place. And my stuff's like, throw it in. It's pretty hilarious how bad the box is that I bring in. Racing KC7 saw the Bennett Gauntlet. Yep. Yeah, he's good at organizing. At least what you see on camera. I've heard that the stuff around it isn't that great. He sent me a picture before of what's not on camera. And it looks probably like what does here, which is a pile of cars on the desk and wheels. I just bought new insert hexes for these to get these rolling. So I got to work on that. Hopefully this week. I think that would help me with the comp, do a little better, be a little narrower. But yeah, parts scattered everywhere. I just found the Promoto remote down here for some reason. I don't know why it's down here. The Promoto's not down here. Never has been down here. Yeah, Nicole does talk about his mess. My wife won't even come over here to like watch a video like I've been editing. I have to bring my laptop away and the hard drive somewhere else because she's like, I don't even know how you can live your life like this. I don't get it. How do you even work? Like, so my mouse area right now that I have to move my mouse on the desk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares wide, left, right, and then forward, back. I have 1, 2, 3, 6 squares forward, back. So I got a good, would that be 30 square inches of room for the mouse? The mouse itself takes up all 6 of them going up and down, but it does give me 3 squares left and right to be able to move it. And I've got it just set at a high enough speed, and I can pick it up and move it to get it to reach the top and bottom of my screen. That's how good my desk is right now. But I usually take my computer now and work somewhere else because I don't have to have all of this set up because I don't do much video stuff for work. So it's a lot easier. Just a mouse pad's worth of space will do. This is about like a third of a mouse pad of space. It's basically like those trackpads that Apple used to sell, that you can buy for your non laptops and put on your desk. That's about how much space I have to move it around right now. Not even two phones stacked side by side. But yeah, I'm pretty new in the hobby, about 3 years, and hoping I can stay organized as I grow. That's awesome. Make stuff better. Definitely try to do that. I think one of the best ways is as you get stuff that you don't use, just try to offload it when you can. Like I've had stuff that I haven't used for 3 years and I still have it. And I don't know why. Means that the new stuff that I do use doesn't get shelf space because that stuff's taking it up now. So yeah. Actual 32. My wife can't come into my area. Her OCD would throw everything away. Right? She's cleaned for me before when I've been away on work trips out of the country. And I come back and I can't finish whatever builds that I was in the middle of or projects I was in the middle of. I pretty much just throw it all away because I have no idea where the parts went to. Because I knew where they were. They were in piles. I have piles of things that I'm going to do. And I know exactly where that pile is. So if anybody tries to clean it and organize it for me, that isn't me. Even when I put it away, I can't find it. So I'm better off leaving it in its pile because I'll actually get to it eventually. So yeah. Opinion on the SCX6. I haven't used it since the first year I had it. I see a lot of other people using it like crazy. So it comes down to me having too many RCs to maintain and deal with, and it doesn't get pulled out because of that reason. I go somewhere and I take a whole bin of minis and some other stuff and Pro Moto monster trucks. There's not room for it, is what it ends up being for me, because 100 RCs, if it's one of your 10, I could see using it all the time. So yeah, when I only had one crawler to use, I used it all the time. Now if I go reach for a crawler, I'm reaching for the VRD because it's that good. If I'm going out on the trails, I would probably reach for now my Element with the scale rock pirates or whatever back cage on it and all that. Super cool. Just because trail wise, it's got those Spec RC wheels on it that are just wide right now, offset. So I'd reach for that because there's no gates to worry about. And then the rest, like I'd reach for the Bronco if we're doing a night run because it has lights. That old early whatever Bronco, so it's stuff like that. But I've got a Capra, I've got the Red Cat, I've got now the FMS, the base camps over there, the mini Capra, which is actually what I ran last time when we did a night run because my son was running the Bronco. So I keep some of them because I'm going to like axial events and they have to have an axial. But otherwise, I have the Vanquish Ultra, or not the Ultra, the Pro. That's awesome. I have the Vanquish Phoenix ready to run, red one. That's not even all the crawlers. There's more. I did sell the what was the truck? The Honcho. I sold the Honcho, but I've got a RC full drive TF2 that's decked out. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So but what can you do with them all? So the ones that I haven't run for years, those are the ones I'm going to be looking to be getting rid of. But what up? Awesome shows past week. Yeah, see, Axial 32 has a ton of fun with the S6. There are some weak points. Yeah, and better servo would help a lot. All about Vanquish, Crawler Baller. The Vanquish are just so well built. They're so good. They're so good. And the one looks amazing. What's the one I'm trying to think of? The Vanquish RC. No, Vanquish products, not Vanquish RC. Don't go to Vanquish RC. Scam site. The VS410 Pro. Beautiful truck. I got it with the clear anodized axles. So good looking. So good. Yeah, the Origin was cool too. I didn't get in on that one. I was slow on the draw. But did get the red Phoenix RTR. We built the race one. That was the kit. The straight axle Phoenix. And have the VRD carbon kit. Didn't get the Fordyce. I think the Fordyce looks amazing though. I like the look of it a lot. But I don't have a need for it because, again, too many in my stable. Oh, you got his origin? Nice. Very nice. Went out but older, but awesome truck 3S Armor Sentin. Yeah, those are really good trucks. Have a Night Runner, but I don't use it. The scale's kind of weird. It's not big enough, and it's just easier to take my minis out, and I have more fun with the minis. Okay. Depends. If I'm outside and we're going distances or whatever, I like the 10 scale. If I'm going to be in one area, I prefer in just a small area. If I'm at a campsite and I just want to run around my campground site, not like out on trails, I'd want a mini. Indoors, I like the mini for sure. But now that I have the VRD carbon and it handles a lot like my comp minis do, I'm really liking running the 10 scale as well. Yes, if you go to the wrong Vanquish site, you could get some stuff. Not into the scale trophy trucks because of time commitment involved in having said vehicle to work on them, to upgrade them, to put batteries into them, to change batteries. I don't like battery ports on either, the limitations of them. I feel like you have to buy specific batteries to work in them. I love watching other people drive them. So there's that. But I would prefer to get the Arma. And I have the Arma, the 6S version of the, not really trophy truck, but whatever. I just like taking the body off and it's all there. Couple clips, everything. No screws, none of that stuff. So you should put the carbon up against the bug. I was just saying I want to run the bug at the comp at Reaction. So it looks like it would do really good. So yeah. What is the name of it? It's the one that just came out with the 4S, the Arma 4S. Can't think of the name. Mojave. Thank you, Radioactive Scale, everybody. Cozy Fozy. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I would prefer. But so I've got that, but I need to work on the diff on it. I blew the diff out after saying how I have had zero issues with it. Like literally the next run I went out and blew the diff out in the sand. More drag brake if you comp it. Okay. I have a Castle card somewhere, the Bluetooth one I could use maybe. Yeah, XJ Sport. It's like a real truck. You got to take all the screws out, body panels, all that stuff to get the stuff. And I don't have time. I still haven't fixed the easy ones that I have in my garage that need attention. Best RC of 2024 so far. VRD Carbon. Is that 2024? If not, the other VRD was the RTR. Trying to see what else there was. What else came out? I'm trying to remember. I don't even know what cars came out this year. Best quote. I love watching other people drive them. Right. Totally, dude. I wouldn't even mind driving it if somebody else took it away and took it home at the end of the night and it was their truck that I just played with for a little bit and then handed it back to them. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind filming it. I wouldn't mind a lot of things other than working on it. I would see. I don't like the Max Slash. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the big monster tire. Like, I didn't like it when people were doing it back in the day, putting monster. I'm like, why the heck are you putting those tires on your Slash? It's weird. They just look like, I don't know. There's some Lightning McQueen where he had really big tires on. That's all I can think of when I see that kind of stuff. I would just get a Max if it was me, or an X Max. I'd rather have the actual monster truck, not. I mean, it's easier to work on than the UDR, but it's ugly compared to the UDR, in my opinion. But I know a lot of people. There's people that like it, you know. There's people that like Project Overkill. I've never really been a fan of that style build. Everybody has personal design aesthetics that they like in their vehicles and things, and guitars especially. Man, I've been shopping guitars, and I go in and I look at them. I'm like, who buys these? There's like 90% of the guitars are ugly. The colors that they use for them, like, what the crap? Who is this made for? But yeah. But that's the same way with trucks and vehicles, and I think lifted trucks are cool if they got big tires on them. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't put monster truck tires on Ivan Stewart's truck and drive it around. Not my deal. It's $700. Is it a bigger chassis than the regular Max, or is it the same size chassis? I know it's a bigger motor and stuff. It's got to be a bigger chassis. Somewhere between that and the X Max. Okay, it's longer. I mean, I thought the Max was pretty steep on price at the time when it came out too, but because it's what, a 4S vehicle. But prices on everything have gone up, so it's tough to say now. Again, I'm a monster truck guy, so I would choose the Max over the Monster Slash or whatever they called it. What is it called again? Is it a Monster Slash? Max Slash? Max Slash. But I mean, I could be proven wrong if I saw one and drove one, maybe, but I still don't think so. Like, I wouldn't want to be doing the types of jumps they're trying to do with that big old floaty body that short course trucks have. If I'm really trying to air those things out, even like the Mojaves and stuff, I don't really air out like that. So I guess the question mark I have for it is, where the heck would I drive it and what would I do with it? Because I would rather grab the other trucks for doing that stuff. So, yeah. But what I didn't mind spending some money on was this beauty right here. That's where my last little bit went to. And actually not buying it. I've had it, but I had a new roller bridge put on it. So skate park, beach dunes. But then I'd take the tires off it, and it's like, why not just grab a Slash and put paddles on it, or take a Max and put paddles on it? If I'm taking it to the beach, I'm going to a skate park again, I would probably choose a monster truck because I want to be doing flips and stuff. Again, just not my design aesthetic. I think it's ugly. It's probably one of the ugliest RCs I've seen. Only topped by Slashes that have big tires put on them from monster trucks. But that's just my opinion. Anybody can have whatever opinion they want. I just think it's dumb looking. So, and that's me being a fan of the looks of the X Max and the Max. XRT looks good too. But you asked, so there's my honest opinion. If Axial came or Arma came out with something like that, I'd say the same exact thing. Like, why would you do that? All people want is a fifth scale big rock. Why would you put big tires on your Mojave? So yeah, I wouldn't use it if I had one. I'd trade it for a Max. I'd get a monster truck. Give my opinion on the Bandit. Oh my gosh, the Bandit is in the RC in the most need of a refresh ever. Like, Traxxas, come on. What in the heck are you doing with that thing? I mean, seriously, the ugliest. I mean, I'm not a fan of buggies, but one of the ugliest buggies that you could get. I had one for about 5 seconds, and then we turned it into a drag slash because, and I just threw away the body and stuff where I'm like, nobody wants this or the tires that come with it. Straight to the garbage. Yeah. What a turd that thing is. Sorry, I still see it on the shop shelves. I'm like, you're wasting real estate even stocking this thing. Like, don't even put it on the shelf. Don't order inventory of it. I know that they make you buy inventory of it and batteries and sell stuff like that you don't want to, but I mean, come on, have you looked at it? It is stuck in 1980s RC world, and not in a good way, not in a, to me, a good way. It's sorry if you have one and you love it, it's probably amazing. So don't want to ruffle feathers of people that may be huge Traxxas Bandit fans, or that is your design aesthetic. Please don't ever be a designer. Go back to art school. Sorry. It's cheap for them to make it. They could still make it look good, still keeping the cheap parts of it. Just styling it a little better. Pink, make it pink. Slap some lights on it, call it a day. I totally get the cheap aspect of it because they're just using the chassis but think about all the other things they put on that chassis that look all right. It just really comes down to how ugly the design of it is. But yeah, I get the cheap aspect. That's why I bought it, to do the drag slash. It was cheap to buy, and just take the arms off it and some of those components to make it into a drag truck and cover it up. Like, just don't ever let that body see the light of day. I think it went right from the box to the trash with the fin and everything on it. Anyway, no room for haters. Not hating, we're just being real. Oh, well, if you did make it look like the RC from Toy Story, that could be fun. But I partially kid. But it could use a refresh, in my opinion. They could make it cool. Like certain buggy, like that's one thing. Like as far as buggies, not being a huge buggy fan in general, so that's part of my commentary and just yeah, I'm not a huge buggy fan. But the Typhon, like they went wide with it. They made it look really kind of futuristic, kind of cool. Of the buggy look, I think that Arma did something interesting and different, and I thought it was kind of cool. But even that, I was like, don't, don't love them. Have one, just use it for long jumps, and that's it. Just to cut through the air and go fast. And I don't drive it anywhere. I don't run it. I will fix it and long jump it again. That's all I'm going to use it for. It's a very expensive rocket, ground rocket. Yeah. But man, now I gotta just pull up. I'm picturing what they look like in my head, but maybe I'm just being overly mean. No, it's pretty ugly. I mean, it could be worse, but it's still stuck in like Toys R Us, Nico Land from 1990. So if you take that, and then if we looked at the Arma, what's it called? Arma buggy, Typhon. So I mean, there's to me at least. I mean, I'm feeling the retro vibe from that a little more. I think with the wing being down lower, it kind of helps it, and the shock towers not being so high. But still, don't love it. The tires are not awesome on it, but it's a much wider box to it. Um, yeah, this is a much better looking photo. That's super racy looking. Those tires are way better too. That's the tuned one. So that. But again, it's based on a slash. You could do something with it. Just even not make that go so high in the back. Just bring it more cab forward, I guess. Anyway, I digress. I digress. Who asked that question? I blame you for where this went. $199 for it now. $239 on $229 on Raleigh Hobby. It's 2-wheel drive. I mean, yeah, it's about the same as this pricing. Again, not beautiful. Although the green is pretty sharp. I will say the green. I do like the green and white and black look. Don't love the tire look on these. But buggy. I'm just not a buggy guy. Arma Raider. I have an Armor Raider XL. Yep. But they got away from that. They made with the times. There's the Raider XL. Versus trying to find other angles. That'd be close. Here's a side shot more. There's just something weird about that nose front. But this is not super attractive either. But I do have that. I'll probably be selling it. If there's anybody looking for a brushless Raider XL, hard to get your hands on these days. What you working on, Pablo? Dang. Getting something ready for somebody? The Raider looks like the Fat X-Wing. Yeah. Yeah. RC Jeep guys getting a refresh. There. Let's see if we can. Oops. I was trying to open it in. Here, I have to change my screen sharing. Here's what Pablo's working on. Dang, man, I keep hitting the wrong button. Not good at this. Share screen, window. Boom. That looks wicked. Look at that bracing right there. That's so good looking. Gonna be rad, dude. Real Cletus. Didn't want to start nothing. Well, you did. You brought it on. Remember that video you did on the Sen Reaper American Force Edition? You think you're getting one? That's awesome. Those are cool trucks. I had one fully decked out and I sold it before I moved to Michigan. Because it's one of the trucks I could sell because it wasn't broken. It was beautiful, carbon fibered everything. And there was a guy that really wanted it, and I sold it to him. And for a steal, a super steal. But replacement parts availability is why more kids get started with Traxxas. I think that's partly it. I think it's just the most well-known name as well, like they say. So that's a big part of it too. Because part availability for a lot of the other stuff's gotten pretty good with the Arma, except when like brand new stuff comes out or whatever. But I haven't really had issue getting stuff for them. Except for that one time they had that whole sun gear diff thing. It was a weird. Oh man, that one really makes it shine. Sorry, I just looked over at my monitor. That really does things for the look of it. I don't even like when I look at like just do something like that. Just put a cool body on it. Like that's not even bad either. Keep all the rest of it underneath the same. Just not that. Not that it. You're still looking at bandits. I didn't mean to. It was just there. I did see the Game Over Primal. I also saw the let's see if they have it showing on their website. I got an email from them about all the other new stuff. Part wise. Yeah, here, check this out. This is where it's showing. Their lineup now. Primal RCMT. Got the Grave Digger, the Son of a Digger, the Ram, Game Over, Kevin Talbot, and then their Mega Truck. But in their news, March 5th, new trucks are here. But they also, here, the new differential, 12 millimeter diff outdrives. Also, the steering bar goes all the way internally to the knuckles instead of having that part that used to stick out right here. Also, much more scale sway bars. Super good. So if you went back to the version 1 of the trucks, even the V3 of this truck, and you look at the front, we can see it. Do they show the front end? No, they don't. Maybe. Steering. Yeah, right here. They had this arm that went across to these two little posts that came out, arms, that then went to the knuckles. And those would shear off the screws. Just not a super great design, but the new one is much more like a traditional steering link. So that's fantastic to see. They've been making some cool changes. This being a huge one. So I need to order up this. Look at that bar. Yeah, finally. I'm excited about that. All right, we'll see you, Pablo. Owen says he's got the new steering linkage coming. There you go. Actually, there's you. So which RCs am I putting up for sale? I'm probably going to be selling. Well, I've got like the Kyosho Charger. I've got the Kyosho Bel Air. I've got a Traxxas Fortec that's like I think it's got a NASCAR body on it with the flame. Who was that? Whose body was that? It numbered everything on it. Goodyear tires looking scale. Fortec on road. I'll probably be doing the Arma Felony. What else do I have? Kyosho Mad Vans. I've got what's the one? The Python, not the Python. Team Corrali. I'm trying to think of what their bashers are that I have. I have one of their bashers. I can't think of what it is. Like a little 4S. Awesome Jumbo. I think it might be something like that. The Jumbo or the, I don't know. I have that. I've got got a Red Cat Basher. Which was a cool one. I like it. I just don't have time for them all. It's actually one that I really like. I can't think of it. Oh, the Kaiju. I'll probably be selling the Red Cat Kaiju, which I really like. So, yeah, there's a bunch. Probably some of my minis that I've got, I'll be getting rid of. I have like the Atlas here. I've got one of those FJ Cruisers. I've got maybe some monster trucks even that I've got. I have a pile of stuff sitting upstairs already waiting, and I don't remember what's all in it. There'll probably be crawlers. Maybe the Red Cat Ascent. Maybe I might get rid of the Phoenix Portal because I already have the VRD and I have the the VS410 Pro. So yeah, it's a lot of listings to do. I'm probably gonna sell the Bari build monster truck, the custom fifth scale one. I have a low C DBX LE. I'll probably get rid of the Axial SCX6 Jeep. I have the X Max that I might get rid of. Some of the big ones to free up some space. Yeah, DBX LE. The Sen trucks, some of those Sen trucks, the high lift ones, and then I have a couple of the other 450s because I've got all the models of them, so there's just too many. And then I'm probably gonna let the TF2 go. I don't know about that. That was my buddy's truck. But there's definitely crawlers. I have to go through even what I have. I have an original SCX10 that was one of those FJ. And what was that? The Mighty Jeep thing called. I still have Unimog to finish building. Yeah, the Jeep Mighty FC. I have one of those mounted up on a SCX10 original, which is a pretty cool looking build. I have a video on that, and it's got a bunch of the 3D printed parts that made it look even better. Yeah, here it is. It looks like this. Yeah, that one. That was that Jeep I was talking about before. And that's the TRX4. These are back where we used to trail all the time. I feel like it has different wheels on it now. Wheels and tires. I could be wrong. So I have that. There's a bunch. We have the Armor Raider. I have SCX. I have SMT10s. I might get rid of, probably not, but I might. Probably not. And there's other crawlers that I can't even think of that are up on the shelf. Oh, I got the FMS Jeep, Willie's Jeep. I've got the FMS other crawlers. I have the FMS. What is that? The old. What's the other 6 scale FMS? Oh, that's another crawler I have. Is the FMS Toyota that came out. What was it? Land Cruiser, the Toyota Land Cruiser. So that's another crawler I have. There's just a lot. There's more than the Michigan's gone. I don't have the FMS Hummer. So yeah. There's a lot. Any Element Ecto or Vanquish. I have the Element. What is my Element? I have the Element Ecto, but it's pretty upgraded. And I don't think I would get rid of it. It looks like this, and I'm pretty partial to it still. That one. So yeah, that would not be one that I would sell. But it's wild. Have you ever done like a deep dive through like old stuff? Just even see? Like I wouldn't sell that. And just kind of look at what you might sell. Like I wouldn't sell this. I love this Losi. I'd think about this just because I have so many crawlers, even though it's new. I'll have this, which I do like. And I have this, which I do like as well. I probably wouldn't get rid of those yet. Yeah, I haven't actually done this in a while. I'd probably be willing to get rid of this little UTB. Base camp I would keep just for running at Axial Fest. This I wouldn't get rid of. I love those. What are they? Oh, there's Weston. He's coming to town here soon. I wouldn't get rid of this Axial either. Dig it. Wouldn't get rid of the 3S Armas. I like them too much. Just looking quickly through here, just seeing if anything would just pop out at my face. Some of these aren't mine, but that's one that I would. It's a beautiful car. Not getting rid of the Kingsling. I did sell the Bog Hog. Pablo bought the Bog Hog. That's the only reason I was willing to sell it. Michigan's gone. Not getting rid of my LMTs. This car's gone. The speed truck's gone. I still have the body for it. I wouldn't get rid of that. Pro C. A lot of minis. I'd get rid of this. Wouldn't get rid of this. This is that other Vanquish that I was talking about. Turned out really good. So, but yeah, so there's a lot that I haven't run in a while. I like this 4S, but I'd be willing to get rid of my, I think, 6S Creighton because I do like the 4S lineup enough. This one's gone. This is an interesting way to go through like my old RCs that I even forget I have. This I'd be willing to sell. My buggy, I've got a race buggy, TLR1, because I don't see using it anytime soon. This one I won't sell. My Bigfoot. Mojave I'd think about. There's the Kaiju. That one will go on the chopping block. Fire Team, no, I don't think so. No, I like it too much. Outcast, no. Some of these mini monster trucks I might, but probably not. I do have one of these I got. I forgot I have another Ugly Betty. It's been open, but it's still newish. But yeah, I'll get rid of this charger. Man, things have changed a lot. That doesn't look like that. I just was looking at this today and this body. The Atlas is sitting right there. Yeah, see, there's the old version of that 18 scale we talked about earlier. This I'd get rid of the Kyosho USA 1 monster truck. I'd get rid of that. SCX6, like I said, I'd get rid of. So there's a lot. This is the Bari build I said I would think about parting with for the right amount. I wouldn't give that one away. But yeah, I got the low C DBXLE. The Suzuki. That was the other FMS big one. This was the move. This is when things got weird with all my RC stuff. I still have this. I'd be willing to sell this. I have this chassis, hasn't done anything. I'd be willing to sell Diaz Designs for making into a custom truck. Italian EXB. I don't think I'd get rid of that. But I've got this Mad Van and the old one. There's that American Force somebody mentioned earlier. This is gone. I've got a couple Clodbusters. I might get rid of one Clodbuster. I'm debating getting rid of the big Rampage. Debating it, not. This I'd get rid of. This Kyosho, or not the is it Kyosho? Yeah, Outlaw Rampage. So some of those, if anybody's interested in any of those and you're watching this at a later time, just message me. Because there's more for sure. Man, this thing looks so good when it jumps. And this truck just looks good in general, but soaked up that landing. Holy cow. Yeah, I like that truck. That's gone already. This got runned over by a monster truck. This needs to be finished, getting repaired. Basically, I just need to put a little tube over the muffler to join it. And I found the tubing that'll fit it finally. USTE. Oh, so there's my TF2 that I took with me. There's the Bari build all looking amazing. That's when I first got it. So good. This will go. I'd be willing to sell this. Gen 8. So that's another crawler I've got. Dang. So many. Oh, this was so good. Ryan Anderson just nailed that slap wheelie. And then he did a backflip with it. Boom. I think that might have been the first backflip I've seen anybody do with that big truck. Like a legit one. Trying to remember if I still have. I think I have one of these new in the box still. I don't know if I sold it. I don't think I did. I took it to some events to try to sell it, and I don't think I sold it. I could be wrong. Maybe I did. But if I have it still, I'll sell that. Yep. There's when you look back at it, there's a lot of them. The kaiju. This is a great retro. This I'll probably end up selling. We had like one snow day to use it for this year. This is the one. The Jeff Gordon Traxxas will be looking to get rid of. Oh, this is when we did the oval track with him. So good. Man, I miss running RCs in Virginia. So yeah, and there's still more. So there's my Mojave. Then we've got these still, these Wraiths 1.9s. We got 2 of those. There's the Capra that I've got to get rid of. The Metal Force ones. Yeah, there'll be some. There'll be some. I've got the Max, which I may get rid of. Yeah, I just want to make some room. Crawler Bullet, yeah, I drove a SCX6 one. It's an experience. I haven't found many places outdoors to really go run them here. So, yeah, Paul Fletcher, you become a borderline hoarder, and that's what's happened. The minis are easier to store in bulk. I will say that and admit that. And even though I have as many as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. So yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I have the laser nut and the Tenacity DB. Gosh. Oh, I've got this thing. If people like rock bouncers, it's a steel cage rock bouncer. Shoot. Yeah, this one. Need somebody that wants to work on the axles of it. Megalodon, I still have. We still have these. I still have this. I'll be probably. I don't think I'll sell that, actually. I lied. I'll keep that one. But yeah, this. I mean, how cool is this, though? 5th scale. I got rid of those drag cars already. Oh, I have the low C drag car I'll get rid of for super cheap. Oh, here, we were talking about these earlier. That's what it looks like with a good up-close paint job look. Man, it's like a trip down memory lane of these things. Oh, that was when the little crawler track first started. I still have this whole section of this crawler track. I still have it in my new one. I have this still to get rid of. Still have that Michigan Ice Monster, which is super sick. That's still running. I gave this away before I moved from Virginia. Still have the Mad Van. Still have this Traxxas Son of a Digger Stampede. And I have the Gravedigger 30th Anniversary Edition of the Stampede and the Gravedigger of the Stampede. So there's that. Still have this. In fact, it's back in the back room. I have the low C LMT Pro kit. I'd be willing to get rid of that. I have this still, F-150. What is this? Who makes this? Charisma. I have that still in the back. I'd get rid of. I still have a ton of these. I still have the semi. I'd get rid of this semi and the flatbed. And I've got the Happy Toys trailer separate. This is the big box trailer ones that go behind them. Because I never drive these here. It looks amazing though. It's got the whole sound kit and the rumble thing to make it shake. It's pretty wicked. I did sell that before I left to keep it down there with the racing scene. I still actually have these Mini Zs. I don't ever run. That's sitting in my garage somewhere, that monster Suzuki, but nobody would want that. Still have these boats. This is when I went to Hawaii. That was pretty amazing view. I don't know how those. Oh, it's different. That's just going through my feed. Okay, it's like, how did I take that to Hawaii? I didn't. But yeah, I plan to keep the infraction. I do like that a lot. I'm not going to get rid of these Pro Cs, but this is what it looks like if you haven't seen them. Freestyle RC Pro Cs. They're too good. I won't get rid of this original, my first Cloudbuster I got. Yeah, or any. I got rid of the USA one, but I won't get rid of the Bigfoot. I think I still have this Brutus. Oh my gosh. Not a hoarder is called therapy. I don't know. I think it's hoarding. I'm pretty sure that was hoarding. Which island in Hawaii? It was on. Man, where was that? It's the one that only the locals are on. It's Molokai. We were on Molokai. And so that view is actually from the leper colony on Molokai. And then we were looking out from the end of it looked along the side of it there. I got these 1RC racing trucks, although I did see that they're racing these locally, so I may try to sneak out and do that. Also, this was so cool. Look at from a bicycle into a stoppie. That was a big deal back in the day before the LMT. To get these into bicycles like that and then try to nose pick it into a stoppie / moonwalk. Pre-Big America. Now it's like, do you even monster truck? Like, because he's so good. Oh, I've got this car still. The Fat Fox body. I'd be willing to get rid of that. Even though I think it's wicked. I actually still have this. This was my original buggy that I got. It's an old Team Associated RC race spec or race spec. That's what it was. Yeah, a lot of these early on ones I still have. I wish I'd have kept this now that I'm into the minis. This ECX Barrage. That was my first one. It actually made me hate minis. It's crazy to think about. There's Cuba. Tanks. I still have these tanks. We don't use them for anything. Here's that Mighty FC that I talked about earlier. So that's a quick look at the land. I have some planes still too, but I actually want to try to fly it. I still have that bog hog. There's a couple. I still have this original sticker bomb. Still have it. Man, that Low C Rally X, that's a throwback. Oh, I've got Max D body. Two of them actually. One of them that I run, and then one of them that's new, brand new Max D SMT 10 body, which is kind of a coveted thing. And there was that Jeep I talked about. I put in the Knights Customs way back in the day. Knights Customs, Angry Eye Grill, way even back then onto a car. And this is, he didn't even have a person in it here. This is early. Again, this is when I didn't know at all what I was doing. I still don't honestly know what I'm doing, but I really didn't know what I was doing back then. Tank. Wow, this is like the beginnings of Instagram getting back in here. Interesting. Old studio setup. Way back. Throwback. You guys are seeing the throwbacks now. The original X-Max. This is when I first got a welder. Oh yeah, I just got that MIG welder. Huh. Anyway, so there will be stuff for sale. And if you're interested, just reach out to me and I'll let you know if I have it or not still. Do I still have a hamburger? I'm starving. No, but I could go for a Five Guys, man. Where are they doing one RC? I saw it at Grand River RC. Let me see. I'm going to pull up their Facebook and just verify that. Let me just check that for sure. We can share this too. Do you guys see that fire? One of the places, the hobby shop tracks in Michigan burned down. So this one's in Granville. Oh yeah, Limitless RC. Let me just verify that I'm being accurate with that. But I thought that they had a little setup for them up here at some point. I don't want to watch those races because it might make me want to take my car up there and just give it a go. They post quite a bit. This is just 6 days ago now. All this scrolling. Maybe I'd be better off just looking at photos. But I could have sworn I saw. Whatever I did not help. These are all videos. I thought I saw them do one RC. I think I can probably search their page now that I think about it. Yeah, January 9th, working on classes and rules for one RC oval racing. So that's January 9th. Minis will race with the big cars on Saturday night. They were going to replace their Mini Z course with a 10x20 Mini Z oval. One RC makes an RTR mini oval car. So yeah. So this is where I saw it. It was Grand River RC. But I swear I saw pictures of it happening. I'm just not seeing them right now. The oval. I'm probably making you guys go 6, so I'll scroll separately. Yeah, the hobby shop in Davison. Yeah. Cozy Fuzzy. I will probably start listing them on my website on the garage sale page. That'll probably be where I end up doing it. And then I'll probably link it on my Facebook page and possibly post a link on the YouTube in the community section, just with a picture of whatever and saying that it's available. They're a pain in the butt to ship. That's the problem. Like finding boxes and everything, and then the cost of shipping always sucks on them. Because I just shipped that one, the one that I just sold, the Freestyle RC one. So that's the thing. I don't want to do a ton of them at once because trying to ship them all out at once would be a real pain. Holy crap! It's 12:30. Yeah, I gotta go. I didn't realize what time it was. Might have been a lipo fire. Oh, that sucks. I wondered if that was it when I saw it, and they said it happened fast. I wondered if it was a lipo fire. But yeah, they lost everything. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Well, I did hear actually a firefighter was hurt by it, so that even that sucks. So I will say this place, Grand River RC, is doing Mini Z racing too. Huge Mini Z track that they've built. So that's pretty cool. Cool to see that they've got a bunch of stuff in different layouts and things that they're doing with the Mini Zs. Where is that stinking? I know they had that oval thing. Maybe they just showed the one picture of it and that's what I saw. I know that my old buddies at Carolina RC Park have they built a 1RC oval. So they do the big 5th scale oval racing, but then they also did the minis here. They set up a course at Buddy's. So they have a carpet and a really cool layout. Let me see where's this picture of it right here. Awesome stuff. Cool to see what people are doing. Lipo Fire is a good band name. That's very true, Crawler Baller. That is not a bad band name. It was open and racing when it happened. Oh my gosh. Yeah, then it's really good that everyone was able to get out. So, all right, well, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 2.5 hours. I went on a long look at my history of Instagram and talking about cars that are going to be for sale. Sorry about that, but if you're interested, now you know there's a bunch of them that are going to be available. I'm going to hang on to the ones that I do want and do use. That's not me getting out of RC in any way, shape, or form. That ain't happening. But it's really, like I said earlier, it gets overwhelming to think about, to manage, to there's no more place to just keep putting stuff. Like it's like stuff's got to go. If stuff's going to keep coming in, stuff has to go out. It's just kind of the breaks. So I hate doing it. Like anybody, like somebody was saying earlier, like you put your little personalizations on them and they're yours, and you hate getting rid of them. Or you had memories or videos or things that you remember doing with them, and so that makes it tough. But yeah, just it's time to part with some, and some of them would be good deals because I don't want to mess with whatever cleanup and needs to happen to them, and just be like as is. I know it runs. I'll show you, but it's needs to be cleaned up and needs a little TLC. But I'll be giving needs TLC pricing on them. So, and then other ones that I think deserve better will have, like if I do the Bari build one, that'll get definitely much more of a overlook and all that on it, and that'll be a local only. It's too big of a money amount that's going to cost. So, I'm not willing to ship it or have any type of, it was damaged in shipping, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be it'll be for pickup only. So because it's about a $3,000 price tag on that one. And that's considerably less still than I paid for it. So, yeah. Anyway, take care, you guys. If you're on the West Coast, get ready for bed soon. If you're here on the East Coast, what the heck are you doing up still? I'm going to bed. We'll see y'all. We miss Pablo for sure. Sorry I rambled this whole time. See you guys.